This is Suburban On Air and Cohen in the City. Here is Mike Cohen.
So I wait, the swallow brings a song of what's to follow, the glory of the spring. The fences sway, the porches sing, the clouds begin to thunder.
All right, well, I'm here actually in RDP, where Leonardo da Vinci Academy, where David Marino went to elementary school, and Ali Brumer, who's from Dollar des Ormeaux. I think it's your first time ever in RDP, is it?
Yeah, I have to say it is.
All right. Well, the reason I'm here with these two individuals is because Contact Theater has a big show coming up, Spring Awakening, and Ali's the producer, and David is one of the stars. And David, of course, a well-known crooner. He's doing great stuff. He's appearing on, Place des Arts, traveling across the world. So, Ali, my first question is, how did you get David Marino?
Well, David actually found us way back when, when we were doing Chicago, right before the pandemic. We had David come through, and it didn't quite work out for that show, but we were super excited to see his name come back for Spring Awakening, and once he came into that audition room, we were like, we knew we had to have him.
Yes. So, David, you're no stranger to the stage as a performer, but this is your musical debut, like your stage musical debut.
Yeah, this is the first musical I've ever been in, which is surprising but very exciting, and I think it's a wonderful musical, and it's very fitting to be part of this one. And with Contact Theater as well. You know, I've seen some of their productions in the past, and they just always do such professional work, and I'm just so glad to be part of it, and to be part of the family.
So what prompted you to seek them out and say, I want to do this? Because it's a big change for you.
Yeah, well, I saw that they were doing Spring Awakening. I'm a big fan of the show. And I've heard great things from people who have worked with Contact, so I thought, hey, why not? You know, it's very different from what I usually do in terms of the crooner stuff. Yeah. And I love to stretch myself, and you know, I think that it's helping me grow as an artist, and I think it's important as an artist to continually challenge myself.
Right. So tell us, Ali, about the show. When is it taking place? Where is it taking place? How can people get tickets?
Well, the show takes place June 8th to 15th at Monument National, so right on the corner of Saint-Laurent and René-Lévesque. They can get tickets on our website, contacttheater.ca. It really is a beautiful show, and I think for those of you that know Spring Awakening, it's a very different take on it. So we like to do at Contact, finding sort of intricacies in the show. We're really reimagining it in sort of a different society than folks are used to seeing it. So we're really excited about it.
Right. So how did you go about getting the casting done for this thing? How many months does it take to prepare for this?
Well, we actually start kind of about 4 months before we even do the casting, where we get our production teams. That's where we get all our designers, our stage management, our creative team together, and we talk about, okay, what do we want the show to look like? How do we want the show to feel? And we design really the entire show before we get actors in the space, so that when our amazing director choreographer Debbie gets into the space, she knows what she has to work with. So we start that really in about July, and then we bring in the cast in November. The casting process itself takes about 2 months. We really sort of dig into the chemistry of the show. This show, sort of more so than our shows in the past, is really about everyone together. So we really needed to make sure that every single person really had that chemistry with another. And then we went into rehearsals from there, and we go up in about 2 weeks, which is crazy to think about.
It's amazing. And we're at a school, and there's a delivery person who has to get by, so let's let him go by. This is live on the radio. I think he's bringing TCBY. Is that TCBY?
Yes,
oh, boy.
Wow.
Boy, I'm getting hungry already.
So
all right. It's nothing like almost like reality TV. David, you remember getting TCBY when you were a kid here, right?
I remember those were the best days, getting TCBY and the little pizzas and the little
That's
Lunchables.
Right. Exactly.
Oh man, good old days.
Exactly. So David, tell me your career right now. You performed how many shows at the Place des Arts?
Oh, I've done about like 4 or 5, and I have another one coming up on July 6th I'm very excited about. And I mean, I'm going to Europe in the fall too. I'll be in Paris, London, and Rome. Very exciting. My first time. I've been in New York, Birdland. I was in California on my West Coast tour recently. And I'm just you know, it's great that I get to do what I love, and I'm in Spring Awakening now. You know?
Yes, exactly.
So it's like, it's
exactly.
just really, really awesome that I get to do musicals, I get
Yeah.
to perform, and it's what I've dreamed of as a kid, so.
And it was funny because Ali and I were sitting there watching your performance to the kids, and then you did that game show with your mom, and they asked, who would you like to meet? And I turned to her right away and I said, Michael Bublé, because you sound very much like, is he your like role model?
I think definitely a role model in terms of how he kept this music sort of alive in a modern world. You know, I think I have a similar goal to him in that sense, that I want to keep the standards alive, and I love this kind of music. It's what I listen to on a daily basis. So I really hope to be able to do what he did, you know, for my generation.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ali, what's David like in rehearsal so far?
Oh my God, David is so great. I mean, David has a really challenging role to play in the show. It's a lot of ups and downs, and he's pretty much on stage the whole show, so there's never really a moment of reprieve to kind of de-roll from it. So she's just such a pleasure to have in the room, like super focused, coming in, getting into his track, really embodying the character, and of course, just such a joy to listen to perform the songs. Very different, I think, from what he's used to performing.
In a good
and I think,
way. In a great way.
In a great
In a
way,
good
of
way.
course,
In a great
yeah.
way.
But I think different than what folks maybe that are used to seeing him perform. It'll be very different, and we have an incredible cast of another 12 performers also on stage, so they all sound amazing together, and it's really a pleasure to see them in rehearsal.
Yes. So for someone who's watching this video and doesn't know what Spring Awakening is, how do you describe it?
It is really a coming-of-age story about a group of adolescents that are really dealing with discovering things about themselves in a society that's not necessarily super welcoming of coloring outside the lines. So it's really just a story. They all have sort of their own little intricacies of how they're coming to each other and really learning about themselves, learning about their bodies, and really how they work in the grand scheme of the world. So it's a really beautiful story. It's based on a play from the late 1800s century Germany. And we're sort of reimagining it where it's potentially, especially with the way society and politics is going right now, maybe not unforeseeable that lack of access to education, about not only religion, but also about yourself and your body, lack of access to maybe reproductive health for women. So there are topics today in society that we do see in this show. So I think some of the beauty of it is thinking about, okay, this show may have taken place thousands of years ago, but it's not really unforeseeable that it could happen again.
Right. So David, how does it feel to be now we have kids, noisy kids going by us because we're out of school.
And I'm waving to them. You're saying hi.
And David, they're all waving at David. And Mr. TCBY, he's still got some more. He's still got some more TCBY here. Let the TCBY man go by. All right. Good. Some good publicity for TCBY. All right. So you're playing a romantic lead.
Romantic lead, yes.
How does that feel, and how do you prepare for that?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of, at least for me, it's a lot of work with the body and how to embody the character, and also, you know, bringing myself, David, to the role, and how would, if David was this character, how would he react? You know, that's sort of how I approach it. And then also the work with the director, who's terrific, Debbie Friedman.
Right.
And we sort of explore the nuances of the character. And, it's just rehearsal and repetition, and I've just been having a great time. It's been amazing.
So one final thing, it looks like Contact Theatre, obviously everyone was affected by COVID. So what do you try to do, one major production a year?
Yeah, right now we're on the track of one major show. We'd love to explore doing two. I think right now funding, especially for the arts in Montreal, is a big issue. The Quebec Drama Federation has been really awesome about trying to work with the government to get more funding, but right now we're in English theater, we're in musical English theater, and we're in non-original. Right now we're doing pieces that have existed before. We'd love to get into workshopping some new musicals eventually, but costs a lot of money to do a musical. So right now, you know, we're working every day to sort of get to the stage where we can get our wonderful cast, our wonderful crew really show their work to the world. But eventually we'd like to explore doing more, but right now, we're one show.
And the Monument National is a beautiful facility.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's housed in the National Theatre School of Canada, and they really work, especially off-season, with a lot of independent companies. They used to work with the Fringe. They work with FTA to really provide them with the space. So we did Next to Normal 2 years ago at Monument National, and we're excited to do that.
All right, David, one last thing. Plug your show at Place des Arts, the next one coming up.
Sure, yeah. So my show at Place des Arts is at Le 5e Salle on July 6th at 8 p.m. And I'm excited because I'm bumping it up. I was in a smaller theater before, about 120 seats. Now it's a 400-seat theater.
Right.
So come.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Tickets are online at placedesarts.com. You can go on the website.
All right. Well, good luck, David.
Thank you.
Good luck, Ali.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. And go see the shows.